What's up, guys? So today I want to talk to you guys about my 5 tips and strategies on how to manage your time properly for nursing school. So before we get started, I want to give you a little background on myself. So pretty much throughout my whole life, I never really was the type to plan things out or write things down for the week, and I kind of just went with the flow and kind of really was a procrastinator. So I left things for last minute, but it always pretty much got me through everything. But once I started nursing school, that all had to change. So I'm going to make this video and I'm going to talk to you guys for you future nursing students on how to manage your time properly, because that is the most important thing in nursing school if you want to succeed. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so tip number 1 is you have to get some kind of a calendar or planner, whether this be digital or physical. And now I went and got a physical one, and I recommend a physical one because this one I put on my wall in my room, and I pretty much am reminded and look at it every single day. So every day when I get up and look at my wall, I am reminded on what I have to do for the week, really for the whole month, and that way I can know to manage my time. So what I do is I set down the days that we're going to have exams, or the days that I have homework or projects due, and then I also spread out some time to study. So right now, you guys are probably wondering why it looks blank, if I'm telling you guys to get one of these. But right now I am on summer break, so I don't really need to plan things out right now, so that's why it is all blank. But once I start my next semester up next month, this will be filled up. So definitely get you guys some kind of calendar planner. I got this at Walmart and they have different sizes, but definitely recommend that. Alright guys, so my tip number 2 is and this is a good strategy to help reduce the time spent looking for things in your books. For example, here I have the nurse's drug guide, and as a nursing student, you're going to spend a lot of time going over certain drugs, and you're going to be expected to memorize not all of them, of course, but at least the most common used ones that you use in clinicals. You're going to be expected to memorize those, and your instructor is going to quiz you. And once you're in the hospital setting and it's time to give medicine, you're going to really want to know a lot of the contraindications and side effects of these drugs, so you don't have to spend time looking it up. But in case you do, what I did here is basically once I figured out what were the most common drugs that we were going to use and go over, I basically got this on this drug guide, and I got sticky notes, and I pretty much labeled them. That way I can refer back to them really quickly. For example, yeah, my handwriting is horrible, guys, so don't judge. But there's morphine. If you guys can read that, chicken scratch, but there's morphine. So instead of having to go through and look through this whole thing, I could easily just find that. For example, here's another one. Here's ibuprofen. So as you can see, you could easily pull it up, and that just saves you a lot of time that you would spend looking for that. I also did that here with the nursing diagnosis pocket guide. So as a nursing student, you're going to do a lot of care plans, and with the care plans, you're going to have to do a lot of nursing diagnosis. And if you guys don't know what that is, I'll cover that in another video, so stay tuned for that. But basically what I did here is I put sticky notes here on the main nursing diagnosis that we went over the most. So here you have deficient fluid volume. Here you have impaired tissue integrity, for all them bed sores. So yeah, guys, so that's basically what I did here with the sticky notes. So definitely do that. That would be my tip number 2. All right, guys. Tip number 3 is you want to make sure you study efficiently, and I will cover this more in detail on another video on how to study efficiently for nursing school. But basically, your exams are going to cover a lot of material. They're going to cover from like 5 to 6 chapters at the minimum, and you're going to have exams throughout the whole semester. and you're going to want to develop a good strategy on how to study efficiently. And what I mean by that is, since you have all this content, you definitely don't want to, spend time studying every single thing, because there's a lot, and you don't want to read the whole chapter word for word, because you're just going to be there all freaking year. But let me show you guys what I mean, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a little secret tip. So don't go out telling everybody this strategy. No, I'm just kidding. But here's a little secret tip that I learned from my own experience. Is while your professor is giving lecture, if your professor goes over something, multiple times, or you hear certain words or certain topics being covered multiple times, you can bet that that's going to be on the exam. So make sure you highlight that, star that, write it down, put it in your phone, whatever, because that is going to definitely be on the exam. So that's a little tip there. But let me show you guys here on this book. This is from the Nursing Fundamentals book. This is the main book that we used our first semester. Alright guys, so here, as you can see, we have a chapter here, and what I did here is I highlighted, see here. So what I did here is I highlighted here some key points as the teacher was teaching, and I felt like these are some key points, so I highlighted. That way when I go back and review the material in the book, I can go and focus on that. Also in the book, in most books, there's going to be highlighted words already in the book, and for example in this book it's going to be the light blue words, and you're going to want to focus on those, because those are going to be key terms for your exam, and you go ahead and focus on those. And then what I also do is, instead of highlighting everything, words or whatever, certain text, what I do is highlight main subtopics in the chapter, and I know to cover that material. So yeah guys, that's going to be a little tip on how to manage your time here with the studying. And of course, I'll go over that more into detail on how to study for nursing school in another video. So you guys can stay tuned for that. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe so you guys can watch my future videos. But alright guys, that was tip number 3. Now tip number 4 is going to be to set a certain amount of time each week to study for your exams. And basically, like I was mentioning, each exam is going to cover a lot. So what you're going to want to do is, we all know cramming might have worked for you back in the day in high school, maybe for your prereq, some of your college courses, and it worked for me as well. But for nursing school, cramming is not going to work for you guys. So what you guys want to do is, since there's so much material, you want to each week set yourself a couple days for set yourself like 3 or 4 hours each day or whatever, so you can spread out that material. So that way by the time the exam comes, you already have all that material reviewed, and then the night before the exam or a couple of days before the exam, you're just reviewing everything that you already went over, and so it can be fresh in your head, and that way you're not stuck cramming, and you're gonna make sure that you do good on the exam. But yeah guys, that's my tip number 4. Now my 5th and final tip, and this is actually more of a requirement / recommendation. So my school recommends that we only work a maximum of 20 hours per week, and that is exactly what I work. I only work 20 hours per week, and the reason why I say that is because there's just so much load on you and so much time that you're going to have to spend doing homework and studying, that really working more than 20 hours a week is almost nearly impossible. And, if you do it, it's going to be really, it's going to take a real hard toll on yourself. Now, for those of you that, you have to work full time, maybe your parents, your moms or fathers or whatever, and you have a family to take care of, I salute you. I don't know how you guys do it. You guys are the real MVP. So shout out to all my moms and fathers out there that are in nursing school. Because I don't know how you do it. You guys have to go home and take care of your kids. You have to prepare food for the family. You have to take your kids to school or whatever. And on top of that, you have to, do all your studying for nursing school, and you have to work. So I don't know how you guys do it, but definitely salute you guys. But definitely, like I said, guys, make sure that, if you definitely can, work part-time and cut your hours to like 20 a week. That's what I'm doing. And even then, I find myself struggling to manage all my time. You know, I spend basically my weekend studying, doing homework, and all my free time. So that's working 20 hours a week, guys. And that's me being single with no kids. But all right, guys, that's going to be my 5 tips and strategies on how to manage your time for nursing school. And time for this video is actually up. So alright guys, so if you guys haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell symbol so you guys can be notified every time I upload videos. I will be uploading videos weekly, maybe even more. And if you guys have any comments or any questions or things that you guys want me to cover, comment them down below. And of course, don't forget to smash the like button. Peace.